Well, welcome back to the workshop. Today we are doing a massive bunch of stuff. We don't know what we're going to get into, but we're going to go ahead and kind of show you a little bit. If we come across something really interesting, we'll show you about it. This one here is just kind of a neat little saw. It's a little steel MS A70C. It's the first time I've ever really looked at or worked with. It's battery operated. Sits in the top here. They brought it to me. I had 3 chains. They needed those sharpened and was questioning a couple other things about the inside of this, but it's a pretty neat little saw. Take it apart here, and this is how you adjust your chain tensioner. That wasn't working quite right. They had it a little bit off center is about all, I think. Anyways, we sharpened all the chains up on this one. Got her looking good. Took it out and run it a little bit. She cuts pretty nice, really. So, nice little aluminum saw if you need something. Good little saw. Anyways, that's one of them for the day. We'll walk to the shop and show you what else we got going. Alright, project number 2 was this nice steel MS391. Would not start, so we had to go ahead and pulled it apart. Got the carburetor cleaned up and replaced the spark plug on this one. So that's doing good. We'll see if we can... we started up a little bit ago. We always like to fire it up at least twice before we send it back to the customer. So we'll go ahead and see if we can fire it back off now and just make sure everything's still running after it's cooled back down. I have had occasions when you fix one up, it runs good, you set it back down, you go try to start it again, and it just refuses. So this is a big old beast right here. So we're going to try to lift her over here. We'll set her down. Let's see if I can make this thing run a little bit. Throw her in the choke. Fire it off. We go to half choke. Alright, that one there still seems like she's running, so one thing else I've got to do on this one is sharpen the chain up, so we'll get on to that one here in a little bit. But I think we've proved that one's good. A few pulls, but it should go. Next is going to be on the bench. Somebody has dropped me this one off. I've never even heard of this brand before. This is a Tanaka. I don't know how you spell it or say it. TPE 260PF. This is a hedge trimmer. I see they do have some chainsaws or something. I just kind of quick glanced at it. The ticket says, make it work. I don't know if this is an expensive weed eater, a piece of Chinese knockoffs. It kind of has the same carburetor as Echo, I believe it looks like. So I don't know if this is just a knockoff of one or if what the scoop is on this. I'd have to do a little research, but we'll go ahead and see what we got on that. Imagine it's been sitting for a while. It looks like it has. It's got some fresh gas in there. So we'll check it out, see what we can find on it, see if we can make it run. And then once we get that thing going a little bit, we'll skip over here. Air compressor wants to see why it's not pumping up properly. So we'll have to look at that, see what it's got going for it. And 2 more rototillers. It's that time of year. These look like they've been setting for quite some time. They're pretty nasty. We'll get those cleaned up. And it says it's been a couple years since either one of these have run. And I did a video on these same models really not too awful long ago. So unless we come across something real seriously different than that, we'll just go ahead and work on these, get them fixed up just like the last one. So I'll keep you posted on them. If we find something interesting, we'll throw it on out there and see if we can catch it. And just like that, we've got another one shows up, the Husqvarna rider. It's dirty as it can be, but we're going to do an oil change on that one. Check the blades, new air filter. Just a quick go over this spring so we get it ready to roll. And of course our tillers are dirty nasty, so yeah, we got the pressure washer out on this one. We're going to go ahead and throw some cleaning to it. Let's see if we can get these things cleaned up and ready to go so I have something to work on. Okay, we didn't really film a whole lot, but just give you a little bit of a wrap up on the day's activities. We had this compressor. He was thinking it wasn't pumping up very well or fast enough, that type of thing. So we got it checked out a little bit. I got it up to almost the right amount, and I noticed there was a little bit of wet spot down on the floor. So I looked, and there's a drain valve underneath here, and I thought it was probably leaking off of that. So I tightened that on up, and then I went ahead and I continued to pump up. And then when I got it almost 130 pounds, which is what it's supposed to be, on this welded joint right here, it blew out. You can't hardly really tell it, but when you put air to it, it blew air all over the place. So that tank is no good. It's not pressure regulated or pressure rated any further. So I'm not going to touch that again. That's what happens when you get water in the tank, and you're going to get that when you're compressing air. So it's basically no good unless you can find another tank that's in better shape than that one. I'm not going to recommend doing a whole lot with that one. I'm surely not going to try to weld it up, because I don't know what the rest of the condition, if it's rusted through that seam on the weld, you don't know what the rest of it is. So we've got that one. We did a little bit of cleanup on the Husqvarna. Went ahead and changed the lawnmower blades. We've ordered up a filter on this, so we'll go ahead and replace the air filter. I've got that on order. It looks like that. So we'll go into that a little bit more. That's a pretty simple little task. We're going to do an oil change. I've got the oil filter ordered up on it. We got a little hose here. We're going to hook that up to drain the oil. So we've got it ready to go as soon as we get the parts in the next day or two. This little bad boy here, this one here kind of doesn't have any way of turning the wheels. So there's a pin in here that's supposed to lock it in. When you take that pin out, that wheel's supposed to push back into it and allows the wheel to spin free from the transmission here. But the wheel has not been released for a long time, and it's rusted in place. So I don't know if we're going to bust that thing loose or not. A lot of penetrating oil on it, so we'll have to see what that becomes. So that's pretty much it on that one. Let's see, our other one, I don't remember, did I tell you anything about that or not? The Tanica or whatever it is. We've got a carburetor ordered up for it, so that'll be in a couple days. That should take care of that. We got a new spark plug put on it. It did pop over a little bit with some starter fluid, so I think that's all it's going to need. Clean that out, get new gas lines. They're definitely shot. The filter was terrible. You can see it's not going to allow any gas into that, and the spark plug was bad, so we went ahead and put that on there. So that's kind of all we worked on today. So that's it for today. We'll get back with it again as soon as I get some of these parts in. So it'll be just like that for y'all. Okay, let's continue on here with these tillers. We'll give you a quick update on this one. This particular one, the wheels had been out into the non-move position. As you move these out, you put the pins in the hole here, and that keeps this wheel attached to the transmission. So I put some good coil oil on there and lubricated it up, took a big socket and just beat it on in there, sanded the shafts a little bit. We got both of those wheels, so they now move, so at least I can get it around the shop. The next one we're working on, I figure we're waiting on some parts I had not looked at yet, was this Husqvarna 51. I don't remember even what he said about this, so we'll just kind of go through it. I've taken the cover off, and the filter looks like we need a new one of those. These things are pretty common. I need to see if I stock up on those maybe. We need to look at the plug, and ooh, I don't know if you caught that or not. Can you see that? That whole plug is moving. Does that mean it's not tight? Did somebody take that thing out of there? Or did they run it that way, and that's why it's all black up around there? Let me pull this thing out and see if it's going to actually do something here. So let me see if it's just the plug's loose and they didn't put it in. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's probably could be a reason it wouldn't be working real well. That's pretty darn black, but that could be just because the plug was loose. So we'll go ahead and see if we can maybe find us another plug, something. Let me look this thing over, make sure we get good compression. Maybe I'll check that. We'll look at the cylinder walls a little bit, just make sure it's good, and see if we can get that plug back in there to where it's seated up, because a loose plug like that is definitely bad, and that can hurt the threads and everything. So we'll investigate that, make sure we're still good on that, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we got the plug all cleaned up. I think that's about all. We're going to go ahead and see how she fires up, see if that's all there was to it. Let's see what we can do with it. We'll pull her over a time or two. Power's off. On. Woo! All right, well, that was easy enough. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do for them, though, is this handle's broken, so we'll pull that up and put a new handle on that. And we'll clean it up a little bit, sharpen the chain, and I think we'll call that in good shape. So we'll mark that one off. Let me go ahead and knock that one on out and put the covers back on it, and let's go with the next one. Alrighty, just like that, we are back, and this is this one here. We've got the new carburetors come in. We've got it looking pretty good. Looks like the same one as what came off of it, so I think we got a good accurate match there. We're going to go ahead and pull in some new fuel line. This will be our return, and the other one will be our one with our filter on it. So we'll go ahead and pull those two on in, hook this carburetor back up, slide it on there with the new gasket. And let's see if we can make this thing run. Pretty simple little task, so let me go ahead and knock it on out. Let's see if we can get this thing running. Okay, we've got the carburetor all back on. New fuel lines are on. We'll go ahead up underneath here. There's a little primer bulb. Not easy to get to. We're going to go ahead and we put a little fuel in the tank, and we see some bubbles coming up and pumping it, and it looks like it's going to fill with fuel all right. Let's see now. We've got the plug in there. That's a new plug. We got a new air filter on there. We'll leave that off for a minute. We're going to go ahead and make sure we're in the start position up here, which I've actually still got the kill switch disconnected because I was kind of curious about that. I think we're going to go ahead and try to start it. If it runs good, then we'll go ahead and hook that kill switch back up, make sure that's not shorted out because we were kind of curious on that one. So let's see if it will work. We'll go ahead and put choke on. There we go. Let's see what she'll do here. We're clear. Ooh, we hear fire. Let's take the choke half off. See, I think I choked it out. I shouldn't have done choking out. Shorten up and get the kill, so that's good. It's got a good idle to it. I think she's going to be all right. Now it'll shut off. Well, now she's not shutting off at all, so we're going to have to go back and look at that part of it. We'd choke it out, but okay, so the short, what I thought was actually shorted out is not. So we're going to go ahead and dig into that and see why it's not shorting that out. We'll do a little ohm check through there. I'm pretty sure I hooked that wire back up in the top of that. If not, I'll have to take that back apart and make sure it is hooked up. But I thought I had it hooked. Anyways, it's running. We'll close this one up, finish cleaning her up, and let me see what that little wire is. Okay, so what we got to do is check this out. Like I said, I'm concerned that this wire was not connected back up on that when I had this apart earlier. So the way we check that is I've disconnected both wires. Let's see if I can get you on that. These two wires go up to the switch that kills it, and these two wires go in here. One goes to the ground, and one of them will go to the coil. So those should be able to ohm that out, and it should. If the two of those were touching, one side should be ohmed, the other should go right straight to that. And our meter is showing that it's got some ohm rating that's going through the coil and back to ground. So we should be good on that. And the other one will be up through the switch and back. So we'll go ahead and let's clip this on here and see if we can get a reading. When we put the switch to the off position, we should get continuity through it. In other words, the switch should take it from the ground, or from the coil up through to the switch, back, and to ground it to the coil, or to the side of the housing in there. So with that, we should be right there. It's open, and we switch it, and that's not making any difference. So that means that that wire has not got connection from there to the switch, or the switch itself is bad. So we'll go ahead and have to take the switch apart, see if we can see what that's a broken wire or what's it doing. Definitely the switch side. The other side seems to be good, so let me see what we can do with it. Okay, so for the next step of checking this out, we went ahead. There's two little screws that just allow us to take this off of the top of it, and you can see it's just a little slide in here when it goes forward or back, and these two connect this side with that side. So when it's in position, those should touch. And the wire should go, one of these wires should go to this side, the other wire should go up to the other side. So we'll check that for continuity and see which side of it is working, which side is not. Let's see if we can set this up so you can see. I don't know, we might be able to do that. I don't know, can you see that all right? Yep. So we're on the one wire, and we'll go to this side. We've got nothing, and we go to this side, and we've got continuity. So that means that we're getting power up this wire to that one. So we'll swap out the wire and check the other one, and it shouldn't have it on this one, and should have continuity on this one, and it does not. So someplace between here and there, this wire is bad, and it could be in this end here. There's a little bit of green corrosion there. It feels solid, so I don't know if that's really where it's bad or not. So we'll have to go a little further and see if we can find a place that it's broken. Maybe take some of this off of here and just make sure the wire's not broke right out here in the obvious, but that's where it would be more likely. So we'll go ahead and investigate that. We know it's that particular wire there, so we'll know which one to look at. Okay, what I ended up doing is this wire that came down around here, I just actually got tugging on it, and it just came right on out. You see it's wore in half. So I took the rest of the switch apart, and it just comes around. I fed me a new wire down through the handle, and we'll go ahead and I've crimped it off, put a new plug on that. We're going to go ahead and plug that back into the handle down in here. And I should be able to. Make sure she's going to grip that one down in there. And we'll see if everything fits back together, and we should be able to run a continuity check on it then, and it should work just fine. So we'll hook it back up, and we'll do a quick check, see if that fixes her. Sure should. Okay, we got her put back together. Let's go ahead and give her the final test and see if we can fire it up and see if she'll shut back off again. See if she'll rock and roll again. Runs, she idles, and she dies. So looks like we've got that one. Let's wrap that one up for the day, and we'll go on with the next project. We've got so many of them on here, but always good to get one of them knocked out anyway. So we'll set that one off to the side, and I think the next one we'll do is the oil change on the old Husqvarna. So let me see what I'm going to get started on that now, or wait a little bit. But anyways, I think that'll be the next one, and then we'll tackle the two rototillers. Okay, it is the next day in the shop. We're going to knock another couple little bits of these projects out, hopefully, before the next ones come get picked up. We've got the new air filter put on this chainsaw. We were waiting on that to come in. We got the new plug in there. Now, the one thing about these, I wanted to kind of bring you back to, on these Husqvarna, when I got the replacement, it actually comes with a whole new base to attach it. And the big difference is the screw in the middle here. This one's actually a machine screw, and that's more of a wood screw that comes with the new one. So you actually have to change the whole base out in order to get a good fit on that one. for some reason. The last couple I've done, I don't know if that's just the aftermarket versus OEM or what the scoop is on that. But anyways, we got that done. We got the chain sharpened. We're going to go ahead and put this cover back on here. This thing is a good running little saw, and we'll go ahead and start the next project out here. We're going to work on, yeah, I think I promised the Husqvarna. We'll go ahead and see if we can get started on the oil change on that one. Okay, for the oil change on this one, I think, let's see here if we can figure this kind of out together. This panel here has to be removed, and that just simply pops up off the clips. That gets it out of the way. And then our oil drain is down here. Let's see if we can zoom you in on this. Maybe see what I've got that I'm looking at. Yeah, way down here, you got your oil filter here, and your drain is here. And we need to just loosen this nut up, and then it looks like it's going to drain out the side. So I don't know how well you can pick that up. I went ahead and just had me a piece of hose here, just regular pure piece of clear hose, because there's no way to get that down off of there. So I think I'm going to try to take this and shove it on that. We're just going to run that down into the bottom down here into a pan. See, I've got my oil catch pan down here, so we're going to see if we can't just catch the oil in that. So let me grab me a wrench here and see if we can open that thing up. Okay, so what we need to do is just take the, I got me a little 10mm socket, and we'll put it on there, and we just simply screw this thing out. And then we watch for the oil to be draining, and I don't know, you can't really see, it's all dark down into there, but yes, it's starting to drain. So we'll let that go ahead and drain, and while that's doing that, we've got to get our oil filter off. I don't know how tight they put this one on. We're going to try by hand, and it looks like it's going to do fine. I think I will grab a little wrench just in case there's some oil on, or a rag. We'll get the rag here to make sure we don't have a whole bunch of oil. It's got a little catch up underneath it, but let's go ahead and take this and get it off of here. See if we can capture that also in our pan. As you can see, it's still going to drain. So we'll go ahead and remove the filter. Okay, there we go. Now this filter is, if you're looking it up, 49065-0721. So that would be the filter we look up, and I've got one of those. So, well, what's supposed to be a good match anyway, so we're going to verify that. And it looks to be about the same height, same everything, same diameter, so she should be good. It's got a plastic film on here. We'll remove that. Let's see here. Hit my camera a little bit. Sorry about that. And we should be able to take this off of here. If I can get the film off, we'll be all right. Guess it's good that it's on here enough that it's tough to get off. And then we'll want to just take a little bit of oil and put back on there. A lot of times I just take them and just kind of use the existing oil that's on that other filter. Gives you just a little bit of a layer on that. And make sure we don't have any gaskets or anything left on this. It looks good and clean. And we'll go ahead and just screw the next one right back on. And this should be very easy to do. You spin it on until it touches down. Once it touches down, you just put a little bit of a squeeze on her, and it'll be good to go. I'm going to get this rag out of the way, though. A little bit. Okay. You'll probably get about 3/4 to a full turn on that. Like I say, you don't want to get it so darn hard you can't get it back off next time you need to change your oil. And we'll clean up all the oil spill around it. Make sure that's good and clean. It'll save it from smoking. We'll pull our dipstick out and clean it off. Get it ready to take some more oil back into it. And We'll just give it a couple more minutes of draining. It's still draining. It's kind of a slow process. So we'll set that back in there. We'll give this a couple minutes to finish draining, and then we'll come back and put some oil back in her. Okay, I think we're about ready. We've got the oil line back off there. All the oil stopped dripping, and we've tightened that back down. And then for reasons, if this one here actually has, I don't know how well we'll be able to see this, but it does tell us pretty much all the specs, the part numbers and all that you'll need to do this, located on the hood of it. So we can see that we need some 10W30 oil to replenish this, and we'll do up 2 quarts. Should be about right. I wouldn't recommend dumping all 2 quarts into it immediately. I'd go ahead and get a quart and a half in there, and then check to see where it's at, and then we'll go ahead and add as needed and get it checked to make sure we've got the right amount. So I've got some 10W30 oil. We'll go ahead and start pouring it back in, make sure nothing's leaking. And we just add it back into the spout. We'll get this one knocked out and we'll take another reading. Okay, I put in a good quart and a half, a little bit better probably. I checked my dipstick. It was right at the full mark. And the reason you don't put all 2 quarts in there is because sometimes there's still oil and stuff up into the engine a little bit. Hopefully most of it's all drained out, but there's still a little bit usually in there someplace. So you fill it up, you go ahead and start the engine up, let it idle for a minute, and what that's going to do is circulate your oil, get it all back up into your oil filter, and fill that up. So now that we've done that, we've let it set for a minute. You go ahead and do a check of your oil. We'll go ahead and pull it out, clean it. Now, this is something that a lot of people don't understand either, is when you check your oil on this one, some of these are really nice, and the Kawasaki I like it because they do tell you on your dipstick that in this particular engine, for the correct level, do not turn cap on threads. If you do that, then that's going to get you off on your oil, and you'll actually be showing overflow when you're just right. So all you need to do is just stick it in, pull it back out, and then read the level. And we can see that that was all the way up. I don't know how well this shows up on camera, all the way to the full mark before, and now it's down to needing to add some more oil. So that's the amount of oil it took to just get the system filled back up again, get it back into your oil filter. And so we'll go ahead and finish topping that off, check it one more time, and then close the hood down, put the guard back on, and we'll call this project, I think, complete. We'll move it out of the shop and we'll go on to another one. I think we might, maybe we'll call that the end for today on that, and we'll go work on some of the rototillers on another one. I think this one might be getting a little bit long. So anyways, thanks for checking me out. We appreciate you hanging out in the shop with me for a couple days, and as we come across some more of them, we'll add to it, and we'll see you on the next story. Appreciate it.